What's up, everybody? Welcome into What You Heard Reviews.
You know what I mean? The people are ready. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back. What do we got to do? You got to subscribe to become part of the tribe. What else do you got to do? You got to do us right. Hit that like, and as you always know, comment if you are rocking with the content. Now, we have a fire review for you guys, as always. And this is one of our guys, you know what I'm saying, who we've been rocking with for a while. We got Mozzy, Survivor's Guilt.
Dude, okay, so
Survivor's Guilt.
So let me tell you something about Mozzy, man.
Yeah.
He was in my top, I think he was number 3, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020 Occupational Hazard.
Yes, he was.
I love that
That
album,
was a super surprise, too.
And
I
then
remember
last year, his album, it was okay.
Cool.
I had more issues with like the mixing of it and stuff.
Right.
Over everything else.
Right.
It was really the mixing of it that it really just got. I shouldn't say mixing. It was the mastering.
Right.
And honestly, I have a little bit of the same problem here.
Okay.
But I really kind of took it out.
Okay.
I really tried to listen to the album differently this time.
Fair
it was
enough.
like, okay, I really don't want to listen to that, you know, because I really tried to turn my engineer ears off.
And just listen to the music.
Yeah. And I just wanted to listen to it. So I spent a lot of time with this album. Okay? Maybe about 7 times through. So let's go track by track, man. Survivor's Guilt. Track number 1, Not the Same.
Not the same.
Great, dude. This is a great way. This is setting up the album.
Just setting up the album.
This is,
the message of the song.
Yeah, it's not
Survivor's
the same without
Guilt.
you. Yeah. It's not the same without you here. Right. And you talking about his friends that have passed on, and it's not the same.
Right.
Man. You know, so
and then it's like a double entendre because he's saying, you know, people say that he's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he's like, well, yeah, if you've been through what I've been through, you wouldn't be either.
It is funny because track number 2, If You Love Me.
If you love me,
then
why would I change?
Then why would I change? Honestly, these 2 songs are dealing with change.
Right.
And that's why I jumped to 2 real quick, because I really wanted to. I found that very interesting that the 2 are similar in the sense of messaging.
No, let's talk about track number 2 and track number 1 too. Track number 1, great way to start it, and then track number 2 is a great way to come right after the intro track and keep the energy going. And both are somewhat, you know, typical Mozzy type of style of songs, but still fire. And his hook game on this one, and along with the beat,
man.
If you love me, then why would I change? Like, come on,
man, dude, I love that, and
that little like whatever that, like that little sample in the background,
right, yeah,
fire,
dude. It's so good to me, man. This is up here for me, and you know, and it's just so good. Oh man, I want more of these tracks on here.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? So track number 3,
Lurkin, featuring. This is the first time I feel like I've heard this person. Maybe he's been on other albums.
Maybe, yeah.
But his verse stood out on this one. Lurkin featuring ESTG. I want to say ESTG. His verse, the whole song is fire. It's very typical Mozzy. When he's in that kind of like that bag, you know what I mean? When he's in that aggressive bag, and then the EST man on this, like how he go from rapping to wheezing, they're like, oh my god,
yeah. There's some bars in there,
in here
that
man.
I really like too, man. This is 1, 2, and 3 starting off good.
Boom.
And then,
you know what I'm saying? Quick 3-piece.
And then actually even track number 4,
Tell the truth with Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Shorty.
And again, it's keeping with this same vibe, right?
It's keeping the energy.
As we're going,
the energy is
good.
Still there, man.
It's actually still pretty good.
At this point on the listen, you like, okay.
Where are we going? Okay. Let's keep going, man. Then we get to track number 5.
Okay.
Murder on My Mind. I actually, so
I don't mind.
I don't mind this song. Now what's starting to happen is when you're starting to listen to this, and maybe it's just me, things start sounding very similar to each other.
For sure.
Right? So I really thought about this, and I'm like, man, there's not really bad tracks on here necessarily, but now we're getting to the cadences sound the same. You know,
beats are starting.
The beats are starting. I'm not like
instrumentation
and if you're not listening to it on a you don't know what is what. To be honest with you,
yeah.
What I had to do was actually look at my computer screen,
legit,
and keep looking at the list
legit.
of when it switched over, dude. I really had to, and I hate to say it, but man, it's really the biggest detriment to this particular album is that.
Yeah, because even with the next tracks, we got "Murder on My Mind" number 5, number 6, "Burr."
You know
what I'm saying?
He starts off the track like, oh, by the way, Burr.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
He's got a. Obviously
still
raspy.
dope. Like they're not bad songs, but like coupled together, sonically they just sound very similar. Now the next track, number 7, "Wouldn't Be Us," featuring YG and Blast, I think is a great transitional track. I love what Blast does. He's just fire on hooks, bro. Like he's fire on hooks, bro. Like he's becoming a young Nate Dogg when it comes to like hooks. Like every time you hear Blast on a hook, it's just like, okay.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Love what Mozzy did on this.
There needed to be a little bit more of these types of tracks though to break up the monotony.
So we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
That is again one of the problems. But this is a good break though.
This is a great
break. And I know you're not really a big fan of the YG verse on here.
I'm not a big fan of the YG verse on here,
and
but
I know you
the
like
song
YG
is
too.
Facts.
But anyways, it's not a strong verse from him, right?
Not to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's still a good break
for
from
sure.
what we just heard.
Right. From at least the previous 2.
And now is where it gets really monotonous. Right in here. Right. Okay. So we got track number. The next like 5 basically or 4.
So we got track number 8, Smoke Nuffin featuring 42 Doug. Track number 9, For Life. Track number 10, Make the News featuring Yo Gotti and Black Youngster. Which I actually do like this song, but it's still very similar to the previous 2. I think just what makes it different is that you got Yo Gotti and Black Youngster on it, and that kind of creates a little bit of difference because their flows are different. And then What You Holdin', featuring Sally Rue. And I'm telling you that
Mozzy. But yeah.
And Mozzy. Yeah.
But anyways, that's good.
Go on.
I'm glad you kind of ran through that because honestly, man, they all sound similar, right?
Yes.
And even though I've listened to this numerous times, I can't get over the fact of how similar these songs are. Now, I say that, but they're actually good. They're decent tracks. There's nothing wrong with the tracks. It's just where they're placed, and it's just the same stuff over and over again. Now, so if we get to track number 12, Ain't Really Real.
Fire. Message in this is fire.
So if you move this right up a couple notches to break the monotony of it would work for me, you know? So because this is cool. It has like Japanese, Asian sounding.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I love it, man. A little bit slower.
Yeah.
And it's fire, dude.
It's fire.
I love this. I love the way he's
and the message in it is crazy too.
Dude.
Like the bars on here are crazy too. Then you get into track number 13, my personal favorite track on the album, Open Arms. Just the message in it, the beat is crazy. The hook is amazing.
And again, I don't know why you put these two back to back because these two are kind of similar in the sense of
feel of it. For
right?
sure.
And I feel like you kind of want to break that monotony up a little
sure.
bit. And still, again, I want to reiterate. Most of the tracks on here,
they're not bad songs.
Not
they're
bad
just
songs.
back to back
and you're
to
like,
back.
God, man, like,
Brown. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, man. It's a Cali sound. You know what I'm saying? And very, especially like, it's a Sacramento sound, NorCal sound. So I get it. You know what I mean? I get why it sounds that way, but I mean, obviously you were able to do different things throughout the album. So I feel like you could have just split some things up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then even with the next 2, you got track number 14, In My Face, which girl, put it in my face. In my face. Put it in my face. Right? I mean, hey, they don't hold back, okay? Featuring YG, 2 Chainz, and Saweetie.
By the way, this song is not bad.
It's not bad. It's a fire club track.
It's a club track, but it does not belong on this album. Man.
Now, I started thinking about that, and here's why I'm going to say this. Okay.
Do you disagree with that?
The next one is Real Ones. Mm-hmm. Track number 15, last track on the album with Roddy Ricch, which I think is a dope track.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure that we're making this clear. These last 2 are dope tracks. Do you now take 2 out that are in that 1, 2, 3, 4 range?
Yeah.
And replace them with these 2 and then move them. Because I feel like you can do the In My Face maybe a little bit, even early on. Like even somewhere in the middle or early. So it has that.
So I'm going to say this, right?
Because you could put it right behind Lurkin.
Okay, so but when you talk about the theme, because everything kind of has a theme in here.
That's true.
This does not have the theme of Survivor's Guilt.
It doesn't.
Right? It's a club track. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the track.
That's a fact.
When you're talking about an album and how it's laid out and how it's structured, that's where I have the problem with it. Right? It just does not fit this project to me. It's a great song. It should have just been either on its own, like as a single, right? Because you have a lot of people in this. Put it in my face. So, anyways, but I mean that's really my issue with it. It just doesn't flow with what Survivor's Guilt should be.
So, all right.
And then it ends on Real Ones featuring Roddy Ricch.
Okay, so
and this could be a bonus track as well, but
but it really does. This does fit the album.
This does. This for sure does.
All right.
And I do like the music on this last track.
So I'm gonna give my score, but I'm gonna explain.
Yeah, go ahead
before I jump in.
Okay.
All you have to do. Okay, so that being said, make In My Face a bonus track, so at least mentally you're like, okay, it's not really part of the album.
Yeah.
Open Arms has to be the last track on the album.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And if you do that, it would rotate right back into Not the Same perfectly.
For sure. I agree with that. Yep.
Move Lurkin and Tell the Truth, sprinkle them later in the album. Mm-hmm. Just sprinkle them. Separate them and sprinkle them.
Okay.
Take those 4, split them up throughout the album. So you take maybe Smoke Nothing and make that track. Just mold it so that the sounds are not the same for 4 tracks.
Right.
Put Real Ones behind Ain't Really Real.
Okay.
End with Open Arms. This is a 10. If you do all that. Okay. But I have to say, and I hate this, man, because I hate that I got to do this, man. This hurts.
Okay.
This hurts. But those 4 tracks, I be skipping them because I want to get to the tracks that are different.
Right.
Not because, like, if they just came on by themselves, I'd be like, okay, here we go.
Right. Like,
but
if you
took
a playlist,
if you had it on shuffle,
mixed in,
I'm good.
Yeah, I get you.
It's a 7, bro.
Ooh, wow, that does hurt, bro. That hurts, man.
My heart is broken, bro.
So I'm in agreement with you, but I actually think the album is better than a 7. I think the album is about an 8 to me, because I really think the songs on here aren't bad. The biggest complaint I have is the way it's arranged, right? And then obviously the club track really just doesn't belong in here as far as part of a project. But it's still an 8. It's still pretty good. And I do still have a problem with the way this album is mastered. I will say that. It's a little bit all over the place. Some songs are really high in the, with the mixes and the masters, and some are really low and you have to turn it up, and that's kind of bothersome. Even when you're in a car, you're like, did I just turn this down? No, you got to turn it up a few more notches to get it back up to the volume, and then you better turn it down in the next track because it's going to be super loud. Anyways, it's an 8. It's a good album, and there's really good songs on here. Actually, if they cut it down a little bit, it would be better. You singing Open Arms over here?
Man, I'm over here sad, man. I had to do that. Look, man, I agree with you on the sonics of it. Mm-hmm. Like the songs are not bad, but I gotta keep it 100. That is a big problem in listening. I'm telling you, just the album, like inside of the album, inside you got to listen to the whole album throughout. For me, those 4 being like damn near literally start out the same. Brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
It makes it like
I get it. 7 for you, 8 for me. There we go. What do you guys think about it? Let us know. Comment down below. Let us know. Anyways, you guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
Peace.
Peace.